The study by Oxford Economics Africa has tipped SAA for future growth and a 0.3% contribution to the country's GDP at the tune of 32 billion rand in 2030. The Oxford Economics is a London headquartered consultant on global economic forecasting and econometrics analysis. It looked at, amongst others, the SAA Group's core economics contribution in the consumer economy and wider economic activity.
We had commissioned a study some months ago where we needed to say that South African Airways has a mandate that is beyond its financial matrices. It's not about just making profit, but it's about stimulating the South African economy as a catalytic industry. This study today by Oxford Economics Africa proved that for this past year of 2023-24, South African Airways contributed general value add to GDP of about 9 billion rand.
The airline's gross value added to South Africa is expected to more than triple over the next 5 years to support 86,700 jobs by 2029-2030, up from 25,000 jobs in 2023-2024.
For this particular study, we looked at our impact across three different metrics in terms of GDP, employment, and tax revenue. So let's start by looking at SAA's core footprint. So in our estimates for 23-24, we estimate that SAA contributed 7.1 billion rand to the South African economy through all three of the channels. So we call this the GVA contribution.
The national carrier is looking to achieve this by, amongst others, expanding its reach in adding more airlines as per the strategy.
This is a very exciting time for South African Airways because we can now demonstrate that the investment that the shareholder put in taking South African Airways through business rescue has paid off. We were able to announce last week that the first of operations from out of business rescue, our FY 2023, delivered a profit which was historical in that for the first time in 12 years, South African Airways could proclaim a profit of more than 200 million rand. But what is important, turning and earnings before tax, depreciation and amortization, what is called EBITDA, which was negative in 2019 at 2.4 billion rand to a positive of 277 million rand.
SAA says the projected targets will also come through strategic partnerships.
South African Airways has been talking to banks locally, where we are raising some amount of funds to enable us to be cushioned from any unforeseen risks that we might have that we spoke about. And that is just for phase one. It's a risk mitigation capital raise that we are involved in. Phase two is a strategic equity partner that is very loosely defined. And it's so loosely defined that it is informed by our technical internal management assessment as to what SAA needs in order for it to reach the trajectory of the 43 aircraft that we spoke about.
These stakeholders welcomed the study but say SAA needs to be intentional in its localization bid on procurement efforts.
If you say SAA contributes to the economy indirectly by the jobs that it creates indirectly through service providers like ourselves, then we have to deal with the issue of how much of those opportunities at SAA of procurement are then given to the local entity, because the aviation space in South Africa is predominantly procuring internationally.
With the festive season upon us, SAA is hoping to take advantage of the period through its festive deals, encouraging consumers to fly. The South African Airways is looking to use the findings in strengthening its growth strategy as it looks to add more climate-friendly aircraft to its fleet as per the turnaround strategy. It's also looking at issues of job security and enhanced trade deals, but all of these developments for now are not pointing to the roping in of an equity partner to help reach the growth projections. SABC News in Johannesburg.